Hello and welcome back to Silent War 2.0, Short Campaign 3, Hold the Line. We're on Tim. We're getting ready to start week 1 of January 1942. Before we get started, a couple of shout outs to Chris Shaw and Brian Miller for helping straighten me out on a couple of things I've been doing wrong. So let me go over those real quick and hopefully we can get those right from here on out. First of all, for the war event phase, I've just been rolling on the table every time, but you're actually supposed to roll a d10, and then only if it's a 0 to 3 on that roll, then you roll on the war events table. So we'll make sure we get that right from here on out. Second thing regarding SMZs and entering SMZs as a result of a war event. The answer was actually right in front of me the whole time. I completely missed it. But in section 12 on patrol movement, it says in 12.1, if a special mission zone has been activated by a war event, a submarine may enter it using patrol movement for no additional movement cost. A roll is made for a transit event. So I've been thinking that those subs needed to move into the SMZ during the war event phase, but that is incorrect. So I should have been sending the subs that were ready for C at Surabaya to respond to those. But like I said, we'll get that straightened out going forward from now on. All right, so let's jump right into it then. War event phase. I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 dice rolls at once. So the black die will be the first roll, and only if it's a 0 to 3, then we'll need to look at the war events table. I actually also pulled out one of my dice towers, so I can quit chucking the dice all over the place here. All right, well, we did get a 3, and so we're going to be looking at entry number 2, which, lo and behold, is Special Mission, Barrier Mission in the East Indies Straits. So we'll get a chance to hopefully get that right this time. So we have to deploy 4 submarines to Makassar and or Molucca Straits. So definitely the one there in South Philippine Sea. We'll be able to respond to that, and depending on what happens with our readiness rolls, K8 will definitely be able to respond. Possibly K16 and possibly one of our 3 new subs that we're going to be getting this month. So we'll see how that pans out. All right, next up is our intelligence and weather event phase. So we'll roll on the ultra table. We got a 5, which for war period 1 is the Solomons and the Bismarck Sea. So nothing that we can, those areas are out of play for this scenario, so not going to have any effect for us. Next up is our weather phase, but you'll notice in February and March, we don't roll to see if there's any new weather formations. And since we have no existing weather, we'll basically be able to ignore that completely for the next 2 months. All right, moving on to the Triple R segment. As I mentioned, we've got 3 subs coming in this month, K11, K12, and O19. Now there is a misprint on this counter. It says it enters at war start, but both this scenario and the rules for using the Allied subs in the general campaign scenario both have it listed as coming in February 42. So those 3 are going to go into the broom box. Then the ready submarines phase. So we got these 4. Let me just stack them up here. So we've got 2 that need a 3 or lower, and 2 that need a 4 or lower. So let's roll for the K16 and the O19 first. Black number will be for the top one, white for the bottom one. Nope, they're both going to pier side. And actually, sorry, first I was supposed to move the one that was already pier side to ready for C, so that we can keep that straight. These 2 though are going to pier side, and then we'll do the same for the next 2. And the first one comes out, so K11 gets to come out this week, but K12 will have to wait another week. All right, then we've got the repair phase. We've got the K15 and the K18, both in repair box 1, so we need a 5 or less. Again, black number for the top one. Okay, so the bottom one comes out, K18, but not K15. All right, moving on, we got the starting the operations segment. Well, first prep for operations phase. Sorry, we got to move these guys up to the operating section. And away we go. We do have a couple of markers here we can use for marking our special mission zones. So we'll do that so we don't forget. We got to try to get 4 of them there. Looks like we're only going to be able to get 3 though, because we've got the 2 that are ready for C, plus the K10 there. All right, well, let's start with our guy that's supposed to be returning to base, and I did the same thing. I forgot to roll to see if his spotted marker gets removed. It could make a difference this time. 6, yes. So we remove his spotted marker. That should have happened at the end of last turn. So now he's going to be transit move from the Banda C over to the Java C. So we're going to need to roll for a transit event. And we've got an additional modifier this time, I believe, for being spotted. Just double check that. So we got the -1 for being transit side up. I suppose we could do cautious transit since we only have to move 1 op area, so that'll give us another -1 DRM. And then, yeah, if it's spotted during war periods 1 or 2, we get a +1, and then our +1 again for being a shallow and or narrow op area, which the Java C is. All right, so we got 2 -1 modifiers, 2 +1 modifiers, so it's just going to be a straight roll. And we got an 8, so we do have to roll for the transit event. Remember, the first one gets +1 to it, so that's a 4. But then a 0, I'm quite certain, is going to be nothing. Yep. So no event. So they make it back to port. Now we'll roll to see how much damage they received. A 5 is going to be light damage. So they'll join K15 in repair box 1. All right. I think next we'll go ahead and move K10 into the Molucca Strait. And so he does have to do a transit event check for entering an SMZ, and that has a +2 die roll modifier to it. So he's using patrol movement, so we don't get any of those negative modifiers. We do get the +2 for entering or leaving, or for entering an SMZ. And I think that's going to be it. Yep. So, and we use the activity charts of the area that he came from, which is going to be the South Philippine Sea. So 7, 8, or 9. Remember, we got +2 to that, but we got a 0, so he's good. All right, so now he can do search and contact. And if I remember correctly, when you're in an SMZ, you get to increase the result by 1 level. Exempt from congregating risk. Yes, there it is. Die roll results are increased by 1 activity level. All right, so let's see what we get. Our black die is a 0, which is going to be nothing. And you do not get to increase no contact to sparse. So, and we rolled a 6 for the second value, which if we had rolled a 7, 8, or 9, I believe we would have gotten a loner contact. If we had rolled a 0 on that second die roll, we would have actually had a sub versus sub encounter. But he comes up empty, and if you recall, when we looked at this earlier, submarines in an SMZ skip the endurance check unless otherwise noted. They must conduct voluntary RTB movement in the transit movement phase of the current turn. So we go ahead and do RTB now, which looks like we can just come out this way through the Banda Sea and then to the Java Sea. That's considered voluntary RTB movement. So we do have our transit check that we need to do for that. So again, +1 for being on transit side, -1 or vice versa. -1 for transit, +1 for narrow or shallow. And we got an 8, so we do have a possibility of an event. That's a 1 and then a 7. So 1 and 7 is going to be on that first row, so a 7 is nothing. So he just goes back to the broom box. So that was one sub that we've had respond to the SMZs. We'll just keep track of that here. Or we need to do 4 if we can. All right, so next up we'll do K11. And we'll just have him enter here at the Java Sea, which is no movement because the base is in that area. But then he will do and this is a special rule where subs that are using transit movement but are within one area of the here it is. Non-RTB submarines that are transit side up in or adjacent to an op area with the SMZ must be flipped to their patrol side and moved into the SMZ. So he's going to be patrol side and move into the Makassar Strait. So again, we have our transit event check, this time using the Java C. So we will have the +1 for shallow narrow and +1 for, or +2 for entering the SMZ. So we got a 6 with the +3 makes it a 9. So we do have a potential transit event. And the 6 +1 is 7 for the first roll, and then a 3. I think we're safe there. Yes. All right, then he will do search and contact. Again, we get to increase it by 1 level. But also remember that we only get to count C2 or task force results. So we have to get at least a C1. Or no, C2. Yeah, it doesn't raise the... Now we got a 0 again. And a 4. So, again, they find nothing. So he will immediately RTB. And in this case, since he's actually in the same C area as his destination, I don't believe there's any transit check for that. And he will go back to the broom box. So that's our second sub we've committed to the SMZ. And then K8 is going to need to respond as well. So again, we'll flip him immediately to patrol side, send him into the Makassar Strait. Transit event with a +3 DRM. 3 this time, so a 6. He does not have to check for a transit event. And search and contact. Let's see if we can finally find something here. There we go. But I don't think it's going to count because it's only a 0 on the white die. So 5 is going to be moderate density, which gets bumped up to high density. But then 0 for the second roll is only a small convoy. So we have to ignore that. And again, he will immediately voluntarily RTB. No transit event check since he's in the same area already. And that's going to do it for week 1. We're only able to send 3 subs in there, but there's no penalty for not being able to send as many as you're supposed to. All right, so let's wrap up this turn. We have no spotted markers to remove this time, and no weather, so all we do is advance the date. And on to week 2. All right, so our war event phase. Black die is a 4, so we do not roll on the war event table. Ultra. Got a 5. I think that was the same thing we had last time. Yep, Solomons and Bismarck Sea, so nothing for us. Again, no weather formation in February. So let's continue on to RRR. We got no more reinforcements coming in for the remainder of the scenario, so we don't have to worry about that anymore. Ready submarines, all these go into the ready for sea. And then we've got quite a few again to roll for. So we'll do these two at a time. So black die for the K-18, white die for, as I find the white die will be for K-10. And neither of them make their roll. So they go pier side. And then we've got K-11, black die, K-8, white die. K-11 makes it, but K-8 does not. And then we've got two subs waiting to be repaired, needing a 5 or lower. So black number for or black die for the top one, and they both make it out. So they come down to the broom box. And then prep for operations. Get rid of these now. We have no subs at sea, so nothing to do there. So let's see what we can do with these guys. So we've got 4 subs coming out. We've got 2 that are a bit better than the others, but I'm thinking with just 4 subs, we don't have to worry about congregating risk at all. Might as well just send them all to the South Philippine Sea, I guess. Now let's send them to South China Sea 1. All right, so we'll start with K-11. So for his transit event, it will be, we don't consider this area, so it's going to be the 3 red boxes there with no shallow or narrow modifier. So just so -1 because we're on transit side, no transit event. So he will come down to done and flip to patrol for next turn. We'll do the same for K-12. That is going to be transit event check. So a 3 and a 1 is no event. Move him down to patrol. 019. Send him up there as well. No transit event. And K-16. No transit event. All right, so they're all ready to patrol the South China Sea next turn. And that's going to do it. So we'll advance to week number 3. Roll on the, for the war event phase. No war event. Ultra 1. See what that does for us. Empire Pacific and Gilbert's. So again, not any areas that are in play for us. Don't have to worry about weather. No reinforcements. Ready subs. These all come out ready for sea. 2. Roll them that way. See if they come out this turn or not. So black die will be for K15. And they have a readiness of 4, so K15 comes out, but K14 has to wait another week. All right, looks like we're going to have a lot to do this week. So I think we will send these 3 subs out to the South Philippine Sea. So they're going to use this area for their transit checks since it's the most hazardous with the narrow and shallow designators there. So we're going to have our +1, -1 situation for them. So we'll start with K15. Transit event. Ooh. That 9 actually gets bumped up to a 10 and then 3. I don't think there is a 10 row though. So we're on the 9 row and a 3 is spotted. So he was spotted on his way there. Hopefully he can lose that at the end of the turn. K18, or sorry, K8. Same thing. Transit event for him. But that's going to be no event. Put him down on patrol. K18. Transit event. And that's going to be a 4 and a 6. So second row, 6 is no event. That was for, who was that for? Oh, right, K18. And then last but not least, we have K10. And a 5 modified up to a 6 is not in the red box zone. So no transit event for him. All right, well, at least they all made it there. All right, and we forgot to move these guys up to operating, but we'll do that now. All right, so we'll start off with the K16, search and contact. There we go, 5 and 9. So 5 is going to be medium density, 9 will be a task force. So we're looking at 2234. I'll get that set up on the combat display and be right back. All right, here's what we ended up with. And I did, while we were off camera, I remembered that they recommend redoing the war mix every 2 months, just so you don't get to learn like all the ships that are in the cup, in which cups and whatever. So I went ahead and did that before pulling these. So it did end up getting another no TDC solution. This guy was too fast. So we'll put that back in cup A. All right, well, I'm thinking we might be a little more bold this time. Set up over here in column C. But then I'm going to go with a cautious stance so that I don't have to flip over three markers. So let's reveal these three. Oh, that one fooled us. So did that one. Yikes. Well, certainly not what I was hoping for. All right, well, we get to set up three. Oh, whoops. I was only supposed to flip over two. That was the third one I flipped, so we'll just leave it over. Sorry about that. I was thinking they had a tactical rating of 4 for some reason. All right, so we get 3 TDC markers. So, not pretending that I don't know what that red ball is, I would end up putting one of them on it. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'm really hoping to get a good shot at that 4,000 tonner though. We got a -1 on that destroyer. Ooh, a +1. Don't like that. And a -2 over there. I'm just trying to think what my thought process would be, not knowing what's actually under that red ball. So we would have, if we chose that as our unmodified TDC, we would then be looking at 3. You assume it has a defensive 1, so -1 would be 2, -1 for this destroyer would be 1, and then that -1 for adjacent column, and then +2 for the TDC. So that would be a 2 to hit theoretically. Our AP, on the other hand, if we chose it as the unmodified, we'd be looking at 3, -2, -1 would be 0, and then another -1. So yeah, so we actually don't have a shot on that one. So without knowing what's under that, I would have picked that as my unmodified TDC. And then I would attempt to make a shot at it. But then once it's revealed, we'll find out, nope, I actually don't have a shot on it. But I believe in that case, when it's as if you took the shot, so I am subject to counterattack in that situation. Yeah, here we go. Unrevealed units with TDC markers are considered to have a defensive 1 until revealed. If attacked and it is determined that the target cannot be hit, the attack goes through with an automatic miss followed by a counterattack. So that's what just happened. So counterattack, we're looking at 3 ASW plus 3 red boxes for a total of 6. We're not in shallow water, so we get to subtract our 2 defense from that. So we'll be on the 3 to 4 row, -1 die roll modifier for cautious attack posture. And we rolled a 6 for the first roll, so that's a 5. And 5 is just in the white. So nothing happens. Oh, boy. The problem here is if we stick around I mean, there's a good chance that these are capital ships that don't have ASW ratings over in column D there. And I would really like to try to get another shot on that converted passenger ship. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do a reattack. We'll clear these off. We'll stay cautious. So we only have to reveal 2. Let's go for this one. Oh no, another destroyer. And this one. Oh, there's a capital ship. Or not a capital ship, I don't think, but a light cruiser. Oh boy. So we're going to have to get a really great TDC marker on that AP ship there. Not any chance at all. Not even sure with a -3 we can do it, but we'll see. So we'll put them on, I guess let's do here. I might as well go here and here. All right, let's see what we got. +2. Didn't really care what that one was. There we go. Well, if it is possible, we definitely got the best result. Let's see if it is. So we've got 3 attack. We choose that as our unmodified TDC. So we've got a total of 4 ASW rating though revealed. So that's going to be a -1, and then another -1, -2 for the armor on the ship. So we're at a -3. And then the TDC brings it to a 0. So yeah, it is possible. Bug invading my combat display. Let me just double check that I'm not missing anything. So with cautious, we reveal 1 less ship. TDCs have 1 added except for the one selected. And then a +1 DRM if we choose anything but that one. So yeah, I think that's right. So we can hit it on a 0. Let's see what we can do. So close. Man, and that 8 would have sunk it too, I bet. Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's a shame. Let me just make sure I got my math correct. 4 minus 1 is 3. And then we've got -2 for the ship defense. -4 for the ASW value of revealed ships, which takes it to -3. And then +3 for the TDC, brings it to 0. Yep. Unfortunately, we were that close to sinking that boy. All right. Well, we got to do our reattack now. So we got 4 this time, plus our 3 red boxes is 7, minus our 2 defense is 5. So we're on the 5 to 6 row now, and we've got +1 for reattack round, but -1 for cautious. So it'll just be a straight roll. Need something low. 5. got spotted. That's okay. Oops, wrong one. Spotted. And then we have to do our endurance check. So we're a C rating on war period 1, or torpedo level -1, is going to be a 3 and no modifiers. So we need a 3 or less. Hey, we get to stay. All right, we'll do the 019 next. And we got a 0 and a 7, which I think is going to be a loner contact. Let me look that up and verify. So if we get a white box result on our initial die roll, we roll again, and if the second die roll is a red box, then we've encountered a loner. All right, so we're in war period 1, so we'll draw a single ship from Cup A. We'll place it in that column. And then we roll to see if we set up in the same column or an adjacent column. So let's get that prepared. Clean up this from the last combat. We get our single ship from Cup A. And then we roll a die, and if it's equal to or less than our tactical rating, which is 3, I believe, yes, then we set up in the same column. 7, so we set up in an adjacent column. We'll set him in B. And resolving it, we reveal the target unit. Ooh, nice. It's not a combat event. It's not an aircraft. It's a surface ship, so we proceed to this procedure. Resolve combat normally, except we may voluntarily invoke surface gunnery combat unless the loner is a Japanese warship naval unit, which I'm not sure. This is a naval auxiliary unit, which it says are treated as merchant ships for the rules, so I'm thinking we can engage it in surface gunnery if we wish, unless you're spotted or there's a typhoon or tropical storm and you don't roll a 0 to 1 on a D10. Non-warship auxiliaries may be attacked. There we go. Covers it right there. Non-warship auxiliaries. I assume that's what this is. Yeah, it's an oiler. So, all right. Re-attack rounds may be used. -1 DRM on the endurance check. Oh, that's nice. Doesn't mention that on the endurance table, but I know this was originally an optional rule that they made just part of the game, so Looks like it didn't make it onto the endurance table chart. All right, so we let me see what this surface gunnery is all about. I'm not really sure if that might be a better option for us. So we have to become spotted. We use the 26 to 35 line of the attack results table. We don't use a torpedo value. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a good way to go. Because we basically don't have to roll on the 2-hit. We don't have to make a 2-hit roll. We just automatically hit it. And we'll roll on the, I don't know, we're rolling on the 26 to 35 row though. But we don't apply the torpedo value. So we'd need a 7, 8, or 9 to sink it. Versus it's only a 6,000 ton. We want to take our chances with torpedoes, but the problem is it has 3 armor, so unless we get a really favorable TDC on it, yeah, let's just try surface combat. Because we'd also have the -1 for not being in the same column, so we become spotted. Put it over here to the side. I think that's what that box is for. So yeah, then we just roll on this. 7, 8, or 9 will sink it. 6 will damage it. Let's go big number. 3. That's a whiff. So we do get a re-attack round, it said. Well, we do have to suffer counterattack because they do have an ASW value. So their ASW value is half, which rounded up will be 1, plus 3 for the red boxes in the area. 4 minus 2 is going to be on the 1 to 2 row. We are spotted. So they get a +1. So 6 becomes 7. No effect. All right. Well, I think we'll just do another re-attack with the surface gunnery. Unless, yeah, I'm just afraid if we draw like a +3 TDC, we're not even going to get a shot at it. So I'd rather do the more sure thing. Re-attack rounds may be used. Yep. So we'll just fire at it again in the re-attack round with our surface guns. So 7, 8, or 9 is what we're looking for. Damage won't help us now. There we go. Sunk it. Nice. That's another 6,000 tons. One more ship down. So that's going to put us to 10,000. And 3 ships sunk. And since we took them out, there's no counterattack. as it said, we get a -1 DRM to our endurance roll, since we didn't have to exert ourselves quite as much just dealing with a lone ship. So we're on a C, torpedo level -1, so we need a 3 with a -1. Nothing else applies. Yep. And we got a 9. So we'll have to go back home, but successful patrol. All right, next we've got the K-12. And we've got an 8 and a 4. 8 is going to be high density. 4 is going to be a large convoy. A high density large convoy, 5432. So I'll get that set up and be right back. All right, here we are. We got another no TDC solution. This one was sea mist, obscuring our view. Back to cup C with you. All right, I'm thinking column B looks pretty nice in this situation. So let's set up there. This guy's only got 3 attack, unfortunately. Let's go aggressive posture for this first attack round. So we'll get to flip over 5. No, not 5. 3. He's only got a tactical rating of 2. So we'll get to flip over 3 ships. So we'll just do the 3 red balls in column B. Hopefully they're all... No, come on. Get burned by that all the time. All right, well, not great, but at least we got some nice low defense ships that this K-11 class sub might be able to handle. All right, so we get our only 2 TDC markers. But they each get a -1 to them. There we go. So I'm thinking we go after the more sure shot, even though the 2,000 tonner would be nice. So that's going to be 3. Well, let's see what it is. Maybe we could do that. So it would be 2 higher than whatever we figure for this one. So we're at 2 attack value, -1 defense, -1 ASW puts us at 0. But then +3 for the TDC. And we're going to have a +1 or a -1 DRM. So we basically need to roll a 4 or less to hit that guy, which means we'd have to roll a 2 or less to hit the 2,000 tonner. So yeah, I think we'll take the safer shot. So we need a 4 or less to hit the 1,000 ton merchant. And we got a 9. Of course we did. For the counterattack, we've got 1 + 3 is 4, minus our 2 defense. So we're on the 1 to 2 row. +1 DRM for aggressive posture. We got a 5, which becomes a 6, which is nothing. All right, I think we stay. Well, Yeah, even if we move over to column D, we're still going to have to flip two reds or two IJN flags. I think we go back to standard posture now. And we just stay where we're at and flip this guy. Oh, nice. Don't think we'll be able to get a shot on him, but that would be sweet. And we'll flip this guy. Ooh. All right. Well, I think we might still be all right. We get two TDC markers again. I'd really like to go after that Oiler, but even if it had a -3 TDC on it, we'd be looking at needing 1 or less to hit it. No, a 0 to hit it. So yeah, I think we'll just go after our little merchants again. These will have a -1 for being a re-attack. Yuck. And yuck. Well, at least we get got a better shot on the 2,000 tonner this time. So we're at 2 attack, but we got -2 for the ASW, -1 for the armor of the ship, and then which puts us at -1, 0 from the TDC. So unfortunately, we don't have a shot. But we do get counterattack, so this time it'll be 2 plus 3 is 5 minus our 2 defense. So we're on the 3 to 4 row this time with we're not aggressive this time, so just a +1 for re-attack on the 3 to 4 row. 5, I don't think is going to hurt us. No. Well, that was unfortunate. For our endurance check, this guy's a D. We were aggressive for 1 round, so we're going to need to roll a 0 or a 1 to be able to stick around. Nope. So he will be RTBing next turn. Yeah, I think the rules actually say you flip them to their transit side during the end phase for whatever reason. So we'll do it that way. So that last but not least, we got K11. And they're going to find a high density. 6 is going to be large convoy. So another high density large convoy, which is nice. 5432, same as what we just had. So we'll get that set up and be right back. All right, here's our combat display. I think we're going to need some easy pickings for this K11 class sub. So we're just going to set up here in column A. That's where most of the low tonnage merchants are in the A cup. We'll try aggressive posture again to start with. Let's do these, so we get to flip 3. Let's do these bottom 3. There we go. Nice. Ooh, 3,000 tons with only 1 defense. Perfect. And another one with 2 defense. All right. like that. So let's get a couple of TDC markers. We'll put them on those 3,000 tonners. Boo. Okay. Not the greatest, but I think we can possibly make something happen here. 2 attack. -1 for the defense. No revealed ASW. That TDC gets a -1, so that's a +1 for us. So we're at 2 or less. And we have a -1 die roll modifier for our aggressive posture. So we need a 3 or less to hit. There we go. And we got a 4 for the second roll, which for a 3,000 tonner, that's the top row. 4 with a -1 is sunk. Very nice. That's a 3,000 ton merchant sunk. Go back in the cup. We'll move up. One more ship. So we're at 4 ships sunk now. 3,000 more tons puts us at 13,000. I believe we need to get to 25,000 for a draw. So we're about halfway there, just over halfway to being at a draw. I think the historical result they said was 24,000, I believe. So, all right. No counterattack because there's no revealed ASW. I believe we'll stay in this column. Let's go to standard attack posture this time so that we only have to reveal 2 of these. So let's reveal this one. Boo. Let's reveal this one. Ooh, even worse. All right. Probably going to be difficult to get a shot this time, I believe. Ooh, -3 though. That helps. A +1. All right. So, unfortunately, the -3 does not get converted to a -4 in the reattack round. It's pegged at -3. But we got 3 -2 is 2 for, or 3 -1, sorry, is 2 for our attack. We've got 2 defense, puts us down to 0. 3 ASW puts us at -3. The TDC will bring us back up to 0. So we do have a chance. We need a 0. Nope. For the counterattack, we've got 3 plus our 3 red boxes is 6 minus our 2 defense. So we will be on the 3 to 4 row. And we've got +1 for reattack. We were not aggressive this time, so just the +1. Ooh, that's bad. So that's a 10. On the 3 to 4 row, we said. Okay. So damaged RTB, we have to roll a second die. So that second die roll was a 0, fortunately. 7 through 9 would have sunk us. So we're just damaged RTB. So we don't need to do an endurance check. Just Go there. And I think that will do it for the operations segment. So for the intern phase, like I said, all these ones that are marked involuntary RTB flip to their transit side. I think I'm just going to start doing that during the operations segment. I'm not sure why it's necessary to wait till now. All right, and then we advance. Oh wait, we have some guys that are spotted, right? This guy was spotted. So let's see if he loses that. He does. And one of our guys here was spotted. Yep. He does not lose it. Don't think any of these were. Oh, yep, he was too. Sorry. He does lose his. All right. On to week 4. Let me get this combat display cleaned up, and then we'll come back for week 4. All right, so we're on the strategic segment for week 4, war event phase. We did get a 0 on the first roll, so our combat event is going to be 3, which I believe was the, nope, that was 2. So no roll on the ultra table this turn. All right, nothing to do for weather, still in February, so no reinforcements. Ready submarines, all we have to do is move this guy to ready for sea. We've got no one in the broom box or any repair boxes. So that's going to be it for Triple R, other than prep for operations. I'll move all these guys up. All right, let's handle all these RTBs first. So this guy is going to come back through here. So he will have a transit event check in the Java C. -1 for transit movement, +1 for narrow and shallow. So 7, 8, or 9. We got a 7. Uh, 8 and 8, which is actually 9 and 8. That's going to be bad, I think. 9, 8. It's blue. Spotted, engaged, and damaged. Return to base. Okay. So that stops him in this op area. He's already returned to base, but he becomes damaged and spotted as well. All right, this guy, same thing. Nothing. So he will make it to base, but he's damaged. 4 is going to be light damage. Repair box 1. Then we have 019 returning. Same for him. He gets a transit event. 1 gets modified to a 2, and then 7. So 2, 7 is nothing. So he makes it back safely to the broom box. All right, I think that was all the RTBs for there. We'll come back to K16 in a moment. Let's switch over to here. I think we had, nope, those are all out on patrol. So yeah, we'll stay here. So we've got our search and contact for them. Wow, 9 and 7. So that's going to be high density task force. Two, 3, 3, 4. I'll get that set up. Be right back. All right, here's what we got. A couple of these again. Too close. And zigged away. All right, I think I'm going to go for column B here. We are spotted, which is going to affect our counterattacks. But let's go aggressive here for the first round. So we can flip these 4 red balls over. Yes, 4. Good, good. Perfect. Now let's get a real nice TDC on that 3,000 tonner. 3 TDCs. We'll just go with all the ones in column B. All right. Boo. Ooh, even worse. All right. Looks like we might be going for the little baby one. It's okay. Every little bit helps. All right. So if we go for if we tried to go for that top one, we'd be at 3 minus 3. So we'd have to roll a 0. I don't like that. If we go for the bottom one, we're at 3 minus 1 plus 1. So 3 or less. Oh, but the TDC, we're aggressive, so they do have a minus 1. So that'd be 4 or less. With a plus 1. Yeah, I think we'll go for the safer shot. So we're at 3, 4. So we need a 4 or less, but we have a minus 1 DRM, so 5 or less. Yes. Is a 3 going to be enough, though? It is not. Just damaged it. No counterattack. Oh, wait, no, sorry. We have an armed merchant over here. So we do have a counterattack. 1 plus 3 is 4. Minus our 2 defense. Not operating in shallow waters. So we're on the 1 to 2 row. We have +1 for being spotted and +1 for aggressive attack posture. That 7 becomes a 9. On the, what did I say, the 1 to 2? Yes. So we are damaged. Spotted and damaged now. So I think for the reattack round, we slide over here. And my battery's running low, so I'm going to have to stop the video here and we'll pick it back up after my phone charges. For the reattack, we might as well stay aggressive posture since we're only going to be able to reveal one ship anyway. So we'll reveal this guy. It is a destroyer, ASW-1. But let's see if we can finish off that merchant over there. All right, so we get 3 TDC markers. All of these will have -1 for attack posture and a -1 for the reattack round, unless it's a -3. And then we only get the 1 -1 for that. Let's go after the guy in our column in case these don't work out. All right. +2 there. 0, which isn't bad. Hey, that's what we like to see. All right. Excuse me. So, see a couple of options here. The safe option, just try to finish off the damaged 1,000-tonner, or the greedy option, try to sink that 3,000-tonner. Let's see what our rolls would be for those two. So if we go after the damaged one, we're looking at 3 attack minus his 1 defense. Yep, so that'd be 2. Minus 2 for the revealed ASW puts us at 0. Then we get +4 for the TDC marker and a -1 to the die roll. So we need a 5 or less to hit that guy. Pretty good odds of sinking him then. If we went after the 3,000-ton, we'd be at 3 minus 2 minus another 2 is -1. But then our TDC is a -2, so we'd be at 1. So we'd need a 2 or less to sink that one. I think we go for the safe shot. And I just want to double check that we don't get any other advantage for him being damaged. Oh, I forgot. We do have another -1 for not being in the same column. That would still be a 4 or less to hit. Oh, and -1 if it has a damage marker. So basically that cancels out the column shift. So 5 or less to hit. And we got it. A 2 becomes a 1. Which is a second damage result, which will sink it. That's another 1,000 tons to our total. And another ship. So 5 ships now, 14,000 tons. For the reattack, we've got 2 revealed ASW plus 3 from our red boxes. Excuse me. So that's 5 minus our 2 defense. We're on the 3 to 4 row. We've got +1 for aggressive attack, +1 for a damage marker, and +1 for reattack, and +1 for spotted. So we're looking at a +4 here. So this could be kind of dangerous on the 3 to 4 row. Yeah, so that's going to be a 9. 9 is another damage result. So when we get a second damage marker, I believe we have to roll to see if we are sunk. Yep, here we go. Roll a die. If it's greater than the defense rating, it's sunk. So we have to roll a 2 or less to not be sunk. Yikes. Okay, so we lost our first sub. So our subs lost marker goes up 1. And we'll clean all this up. I believe that was our last. No, we still got one more. We still got a lot more, actually. Losing track of things here. All right, let's move on over to South Philippine Sea. K10. We got a 1 and a 9. So the 1 is going to be sparse, 9 is a task force. So a sparse task force is going to be 1, 1, 2, 3. I'll get that set up. All right, so we got another solution here in column C. C missed again. I think with this older generation sub, we're just going to play it safe over here in column A. So let's go aggressive posture so that we can get our favorable modifiers. We won't really have to flip anymore doing that, so might as well. All right, merchant and the destroyer. All right, well, looks like we're going to get two cracks to sink this without having to flip anything else. We'll pull our TDC markers. That's not good. Especially with this guy. 1 attack. -2 for the ship armor is a -1. Minus another 1 for the ASW is a -2. -5 with the TDC. And only +1 from the, I guess the TDC is actually only a 3, so, but we're still at -2, sorry. But we're still at -4, so we have no shot. Counterattack, 1. We've also got 3 red boxes here, so that's going to be 4. Minus our 2 defense. Put us on the 1 to 2 row. +1 for aggressive attack. 6. is nothing. Reattack will stay aggressive. There we go. That's what we're looking for. All right, so now we've got our 1 attack, -2 defense, -1 ASW. Puts us at -2, but then we've got +4 from the TDC marker. So we're at a +2. And a -1 die roll modifier, so we need a 3 or less to hit. Oh, so close. Another one gets away. Sorry, reattack or counterattack before we clean up here. So we've got our 4 -2 again. So the 1 to 2 row, but now we've got an additional +1 for reattack. So +2 this time. 6 becomes 8. Spotted. And then for endurance check, we're a class D, or rating of D, so we need a 2 or less. Aggressive, so we need a 1 or less. Nope. RTB for him. All right, K18. 5 and 6. 5 is going to be moderate density. 6 is going to be a large convoy. Moderate density, large convoy, 4322. Be right back. All right, here's what we got. One of our ships in column D zigged away. But I'm definitely setting up in column A for this. An aggressive stance, so we can flip over all 4 of those. Woohoo. Nice. Oh. Hospital ship. Going to stay away from that one. They don't count towards ships sunk, or they count towards ships sunk, I think, but the tonnage doesn't count. And if you had a super skipper, he'd actually be relieved from duty for sinking a hospital ship, so we'll stay away from that one. All right, so we got a couple of nice juicy targets there, though. Hopefully we can bag one of those. All right, +1, +3. Okay, there we go, -1. Which is actually a -2. So let's see what we can do here. 3 attack. -3 for the armor is a 0, but then +2 for the TDC. And a -1 modifier. So we need a 3 or less to hit. Come on. 9-0, the worst possible roll. All right, no counterattack, or sorry, there is a counterattack. Didn't see that half there. So they got 1 plus 3 is 4 minus 2. So we're on the 1 to 2 row with a +1 DRM for aggressive posture. A 9, I believe, was a spotted result. No, it's actually damaged. Okay. So we got damaged from that. Little armed merchant. Able to bring the heat. Oh boy. Well, let's stick with our aggressive posture. We'll stay in the same column. I'm going to flip these 3. Ooh. Wouldn't that be nice? Yikes. Okay. Still, we're looking at 3 ASW now. This is going to be pretty tough. I think we'll go after these 2 5-tonners again. And 11,000 would be nice, but I don't think there's any way we could get that, or the 10,000 one even. So let's just put one on here. You know what? There's a chance. Let's do that. +2, -1. This needs to be a minus. Nope. Not going after the Izumo. All right. Well, looks like the 5,000 tonner is our target. That's actually a -3 for the TDC. But we've also got 3 ASW now as well. So we're looking at our 3 attack minus a total of 6 is -3. The TDC will get us back to 0. So we got to roll a 0 to hit. 0 or 1 actually. Another 9-0. Wow. Okay then. Counterattack now. Let's hope we survive this. 3 plus 3 is 6, minus our 2 defense. 3 to 4 row. And we've got the +1 for damage, +1 for reattack. We're not spotted at least, and +1 for aggressive. So we're looking at +3 on the 3 to 4 row. Oh, that's not good. A 9 on the 3 to 4 row is damaged. So again, a second damage marker. Means we have to roll a 2 or less, or else we are sunk. Yes. All right. Endurance check. We're a C rating. So we need a 3, but we're damaged and we were aggressive, so we need a 1 or less to stick around. 8. It's okay. I don't think I would have stuck around anyway. All right, on to the K8. Luck's got a turn here at some point. 8 and 2. So 8 is going to be high density, 2 is a small convoy. 4332. Be right back. Here's our combat display. I think we will set up in column A again. And I think we've been a little too aggressive lately, so I think we'll just go with the standard posture this time. And so we're flipping 3 ships. We'll do these 2 on the bottom here. Nice. Let's try one of the ones in column B. Try the bottom one. Ooh, a combat event. Haven't had much luck with these lately. Hopefully we get a better one this time. A 1. Surface gunnery combat. Submarine surfaces to engage in gun combat. Ignored if it's spotted or the op area contains a typhoon. Alright, so we'll do our spotted marker. Choose any revealed Japanese merchant or transport piece in this column and attack it using a die roll on the 26 to 35 line. We do not use the Mark 14 torpedo value. If there is no revealed merchant or if there is a revealed IJN unit, this event is ignored. We do not have a revealed IJN unit. When finished, proceed to the counterattack round, and these ships that have the 0 with the slash through them count as 1/2 ASW value during counterattack. All right, so just need to roll the 1 die. We're rolling on the 26 to 35 line with no modifier. So we need a 6 to damage and a 7 through 9 to sink. And I think we'll go after the 4,000 tonner. Hey, a 7. Sunk it. Nice. So 1 more ship. 4,000 more tons. That's going to put us at 18,000. 6 ships. All right. So we do face the ASW counterattack. That 0 with the slash counts as a half, so that'll get rounded up to 1. And then we've got our 3 red boxes. So 4 minus our 2 defense. And then we are spotted, so we'll get a +1 modifier for that. So we're on the 1 to 2 row with a +1. And that's a nice roll there. So that's only going to be a 2, which is nothing. This combat event goes back in the cup. Now I assume we can submerge and do a normal attack run then for the re-attack round, so we'll do that. I think this time we'll switch to cautious. That way we'll only have to flip 2 of these guys over, because we have to do the rising sun flags first. So we're going to have to flip 2 of those, 3 if we went standard. So let's flip this guy, and let's flip this guy. Oh, nice. Okay, so we get our 3 TDC markers. I think we'll go here. Here. And here. Oops. All right, so -2 on that one, -1 on that one, and a +2 over there. All right, so we've only got, this is one of those older boats, so we've only got 2 attack rating. So it looks like either one of these will be the same, since the one with the higher defense value has a lower TDC number on it. So I think we might as well try to go after the 5-tonner, so we'll make that one the unmodified TDC. So we're at 1, -2, -3 for combining the defense value and the ASW value. So we're at a -2, but then this gets another -1 for being the reattack round, so it will give us +1 overall. So we need a 1 or less to hit it, and then a pretty good sized number on the second die to sink it. We did not. So then for the reattack, this time we don't have to count these since we're not doing surface gunnery now. But we do count the 1 from the destroyer, plus the 3 red boxes is 4, minus our 2 defense. Actually, I forgot last time we do have to, or no, we're not shallow, so never mind. So yeah, that's a 2. So we're still on the 1 to 2 row, but now we've got +1 for reattack and +1 for spotted, but then -1 for cautious. So it's going to be a net +1 on the 1 to 2 row. 3 + 1 is a 4, which is not going to be anything. So we get away unscathed. Now for our endurance check, war period or torpedo -1, rating of D. We did not go aggressive at all. We're not damaged, so it's just a straight roll, but we need a 2 or less. Nope. So RTB for him. And we've got 1 sub left on patrol and then 1 still in base. So the K-15 will do his search and contact roll. 5 and 1. So 5 is going to be moderate density. 1 is a small convoy. Moderate density, small convoy, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'll get that set up. Be right back. That's a beautiful sight there. We'll set up in column A. And I know we've been burned the last couple times we've gone aggressive, but this just looks too tempting. So we're going to go aggressive stance, at least for the first round. And so we'll get to flip over 4. So we'll just do all the ones in column A. another combat event. Let's see what we get this time. A 0. Target lumbers into way. A Japanese ship suddenly crosses the path of one or more torpedoes. Conduct the combat phase normally, but prior to conducting the first attack round, choose any face-down red ball flagged ship in this or an adjacent column, reveal it, and determine if it is sunk. To do this, roll a die and add the current torpedo value on the correct target size line of the attack results table. Continue the attack round normally. If no eligible ships are on the display, ignore this event. A diligent escort revealed this way does not get to roll on the counterattack table as if revealed in 1413. All right, so basically we get an automatic hit on a red ball flagged ship in either this column, which there aren't any more in this column, or an adjacent column. So, and that'll be prior to the first attack round. So we might as well do that now, since we're done revealing. Let's go with this one. Okay. Not the greatest, but we got a pretty good chance of sinking it. So it's a 2,000 tonner, so we're rolling on the 1 to 4 row. We do still roll a die and add the current torpedo value. Yep, so we still got our -1 from the torpedo. So basically we need a 4 or higher to sink it. And we get a 0. Completely missed. Wow. We didn't miss, but the torpedo didn't detonate. All right, so now we do our normal attack round. I think we might as well put our third TDC on that one over in column B. Our aggressive stance, so these all get a -1. Looks like that might be the best one to go after. Let's see, if we went for this one, it would be 3 -3 is 0. -1 for the half ASW, so -1. Then -1 for the TDC would put it back to 0. So we'd have to roll a 0 to hit that one. So I'm thinking this guy over here in column B that our first torpedo struck but then didn't do anything is our best choice. That's a -3 TDC. We do get +1, or he gets +1 for being an adjacent column. So it's 3 -1, -1 for the ASW, -1 for the adjacent column, but then +3 for the TDC. So we need a 3 or less, but we have a -1 modifier, so we need a 4 or less. There we go. And that 6, even with the -1 from the torpedo, is definitely enough to sink it. So that's another ship and another 2,000 tons. So we're up to 20,000 tons, 7 ships. All right, starting to feel a little better about things now. We've got a counterattack. We just have the half value there, so that's going to round up to 1 plus our 3 red boxes. 4 minus 2 will be on the 1 to 2 row, and plus 1 for aggressive posture. 0, perfect. Nothing. All right, we'll stay aggressive. We'll stay in this row. We'll flip these two over. Another 1,000-ton merchant. Another 1,000-ton merchant. Wow, this was a great convoy to stumble upon. Let's see if we can get 2 ships in one attack. So TDCs, we get 3. I'm thinking we go for the 2. These 2 again in our column. And then probably the one with the 1 defense in column B. Zero, a plus 1, and a minus 1. All right, so I'd really like to go after this guy, but let's see what we'd need to roll. We're at 3, minus 3 is 0. The ASW puts it down to minus 1. But then this TDC is actually a minus 2. So we need to roll a 1 or less to hit that guy. Or we go for this one over here, which would be 3 minus 1 makes it 2, minus another makes it 1, minus 1 for the column, adjacent column. But then that's a minus 3 TDC, so we'd hit on a 3 or less, again with the minus 1. So 4 or less to hit this guy, 2 or less to hit that guy. You know what? I really want that 5,000 tonner. Let's try it. So just to confirm, it's 3. Minus 3 is 0. Minus 1 is negative 1. But then plus 2. Yeah, so we need a 1 or less with a minus 1 DRM. So we need a 2 or less on the black dot. Well, I don't think we would have gotten the... Well, we would have hit the other one, but it wouldn't have sunk it, so... All right. So then counterattack again is going to be the 1 plus 3 is 4 minus 2. 1 to 2 column. This time we've got plus 2. For reattack round and aggressive posture. We rolled a 4, which will be a 6, which is still nothing. So then for our endurance check, C rating, we were aggressive posture, so plus 1, so we need a 2 or less to stay out. Yes, we do. He goes back there. And we just have our 1 sub left in Surabaya that's coming out, the K14. I'm thinking maybe we'll try our luck in the South China Sea 2 box this time. It is shallow waters, but it has 2 less red boxes, so I think we'll give that a shot. So we're going to have him transit move from Surabaya up to South China Sea 2. So he will do a transit check with a -1 modifier for being on transit side, +1 modifier for the shallows. I did get confirmation today from Brian Miller that the shallow/narrow modifier for the transit event check does apply no matter where you moved through. So even if we had moved up to South China Sea 1, which would cause us to use its activity chart for the event check, because we moved through shallow waters on the way there, we would still suffer that +1 modifier. So we got +1, so a 7, 8, or 9 will cause a transit event check. Nope. So then he will flip to patrol side and patrol their next turn. All right, so that's all of our subs for the operations segment. The conclude turn phase, we have some spotted markers we need to roll for to see if we lose. We'll start down here. Again, a 0 to 6, they lose it. Nope, he stays spotted. I believe there's a few in here. This one, 6, so he does lose that one. That guy's not spotted, but he's damaged twice. And the one on the bottom is spotted. And he loses it. All right, stack these guys back up. All right, and then we just advance the week marker. So we're going into first week of March 1942. That's where we'll pick up in the next episode. Thank you again for watching. Just to summarize where we are, end of February 1942, we have 7 ships sunk for a total of 20,000 tons, and we've lost 1 sub. So we'll see you in the next episode.